Hi guys, welcome to another Unreal Engine's video tutorial, and today we are going to learn the proper way to make a rendered image inside Unreal Engine. Okay, so many of you guys, when you are going to take a render or a screenshot from your scene, you just take a high resolution screenshot, right? And sometimes this can work, okay? Mainly if you want to just take a preview of your project to send to your friend or to show something to your client, but this is not the proper way to create a render image for your project. So many of you go to high resolution screenshot and increase the number to create a screenshot for your project, right? And this sometimes can work, but not as your final version. Okay, this can work like a preview just to show a friend or something like that. So let's take our screenshot from this scene right here, and I want to show you a comparison between the two versions of the same shot. Okay, let's take this image like 30 of FOV. Let's position ourselves. Okay. $25. Let's take this screenshot over here. Okay. Prior resolution screenshot multiplied by 2. Okay, so now we have our screenshot, and we are going to take the same screenshot but on a proper way. Okay, so let's go back to with our FO view. Nice. And now we are going to create a camera here. To create a camera, click on this button and create a Cine Camera Actor. Nice. So now we have our Cine Camera Actor right here. Okay, click on the Cine Camera Actor and let's change their name. So let's name it POV1. Okay, point of view 1. So now we have our camera here, and you can see when you select your camera, you can see the preview of this exactly camera. And our details panel, we can change some settings like our film back, for example, and our lens settings, our focus settings as well. First, guys, let's change our sensor height and width. Okay, this one I'm going to choose 21.6 and 38.4 just to have a vertical capture for my scene. Okay, for my lens settings I'm going to use a 50 millimeters, but if you guys want you can change for something like 85 or maybe 30. Okay, in my case I'm going to choose the 50 millimeters. Okay, and then I'm going to position my camera inside my scene. Okay, to do that I'm going to click on perspective and select and POV1. Okay, click that, and now you are inside your camera. You can see that you are on pilot active right here. Okay, so if you point your camera right here and click here to stop piloting the camera, you can see now your preview is looking to that direction. Okay, so when you click on POV1, when you select the camera, now you are moving the camera, you are looking what you are seeing. Okay, if you click right here, you will show exactly camera view. So click that, active that, and now you can position your camera in a better way. Okay, so let's select right here. Let's position ourselves. Okay, this is good enough. And now don't worry about the chair or this light over here. You can do first, you can select the method focus method, manually click on this button here and select what you are focusing on. In my case, I want to focus on this table right here. So click on the table, and now you can see that the focus is on the table, and this chair here that is near to my camera is a little bit blurred, right? In my case, I don't want these chairs. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I just going to type here near. Okay, enable this custom near clip plane and increase this value until you don't see these chairs anymore. Okay, much better, right? And now I can position myself a little bit properly. Okay, this is good enough. And then I just have to render my image. How I render my image? First thing, guys, go to your edit, plugins, and enable your movie render queue. Movie render queue. You have to enable this plugin here. Okay. After you enable your plugin, you have to add a new sequence level. Click here and add a new sequence level. Click that, and the sequence level that we are going to name it, let's call level sequence. Okay, level sequence 1. Okay, save it, and now it open your sequence level right here, your sequencer, sorry. So first thing that we are going to do, guys, is add an actor into our sequence. So click on track, and which actor we want to add on our sequence? We want to add our camera. Our camera name is POV1. So select your camera, and you can see right here that you are using the camera that you chose, right? Next, click on this button to render your image or your movie. In our case, we are going to render a image frame. So click that. In my case, I can delete these guys because we are going to do from scratch. And now we are going to add a new render. The render that we are going to add is this level sequence number 1. And now we have some settings that we need to change. Click on the settings. If you want to have a JPEG, you can leave this guy here. If you don't, you can disable it and add a PNG or IXR. Okay, in my case, I want a PNG. PNG for me is enough. Okay, also, guys, you can change your output settings, the name of your file, the output directory, the folder where it is going to be saved, and you can change your resolution. In my case, it's 2160 by 3840. Okay, and right here, guys, it's very important, use custom playback range. We just want an image. Okay, so we don't need to render like every frame like a movie, right? So we just want a single frame. So it will start on 0 and it will end on the frame 1, just one frame. Okay, next step, guys, we can also add a anti-aliasing method. Click here, override anti-aliasing. Nice. And now we can change our spatial and temporal sample. Okay, I will put like number 5, but if you want to get a better quality, you can put like 8. But for me, right now, 5 is good enough. Okay, guys, next step, we can add, if you want, we can add like to get a higher resolution. So let me see if I can find it. Oh, right here, high resolution. You see, this tile count here is basically he's telling, oh, I'm just going to render one image in one single part, right? If you choose the number 2, if you increase this tile count, then he will make your image into 2 separate images and make it higher resolution. Okay, so if you want, you can increase this tile count here. In my case, I don't need right now a higher resolution, so for me, we'll just delete this image. Okay, now click on accepted. Okay, and then render local. And now you can see our render preview right here. Unreal Engine is one of those softwares that is very fast in rendering our image. Okay, so for me it will take like 15 seconds or something like that. It will make our render very quickly. Okay, okay, so the render is done. Let's click on our output directory here and it will automatically open our render. And now guys, it's time for us to compare our render. So we have our, let me see, our screenshot that we took right here. This is the screenshot that we took earlier, and we also have our movie render sequencer. Okay, so we can see the difference between each other. Nice, right? So which one do you prefer? This is the high resolution screenshot, and this is the level sequence. You see, in this case, let me show you a capture. In this case, the main difference that I see is right here. It's a little bit blurred, right? It's on the edges. In this case, we don't see like a huge difference between them, but in some case, a sequence level and a high resolution screenshot have like a huge difference between them. It's just a massive difference. So let me show you an example. Okay guys, so I found you an example of a difference between a high resolution screenshot and a movie render QE image. Okay, this is a movie render QE image, and this right here is a high resolution screenshot. So as you can see, let me show you. As you can see, this area here, these edges here is a little bit weird in comparison to the movie render QE image. Okay, you can see these edges here is much more smoother. Right guys, so this is the difference between them. Also, with a movie render QE image, you can control exactly the size of your image. Okay, so that's why I always recommend you guys to use a movie render QE image. Okay, so if you guys want to take a screenshot of your project, don't do it. Please choose to use the movie render QE instead. Okay, for the second part of the video, we are going to take this exactly camera and make it like a small cinematic video. Okay, so I see you on the next tutorial, and bye bye.